The roller coaster was called Suborbital, and it was a thing of beauty. Painted white with blue trim, it had thousands of little twinkling lights. Nearly 300 feet tall, it was sheer vertigo, and last time I screamed so much I went hoarse. I went with some friends then. Now, I'm with the guy I want to make my boyfriend. Dark-haired Lucas. Smart, smooth, nice to look at. Best of all, he smelled good. He's never been on the coaster. He's way out of my league, but somehow, it's our third date, and I haven't blown it yet. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. It's early evening, and the sky is beginning to darken. I have time for one more ride before I have to go home. My favorite. It's the last ride of the night, I said. We have to go. The attendant gestured toward the back of the car, and we climbed in. I don't know about this, Lucas said. It looks too tall. It only seems tall when you're on the ground, I said. It feels taller when the car is climbing to the top. I can't believe I let you talk me into this, Lucas said, grabbing my hand. Corey, has anyone ever died on this thing? Not that I know of, but what a way to go. The crash bar locked us into place, and the attendant walked to each seat to make sure everyone was secure. She saw us holding hands and smiled. The ride clicked, the coaster rumbled, and we started to move. Oh, God, Lucas said. His hand held mine like a vice grip. Oh, God, it's moving. The first part of the coaster was an elaborate spiral that took us up to the top. They had claimed it was 30 stories, but the ride up felt like 60. I loved that little bit of fear as we neared the peak. Corey, look how far up we are. I hate this, Lucas said. One of his hands held mine. The other held the crash bar so tight his knuckles stood out. He leaned over the edge and looked down. I hate this. Look how far the ground is. To distract him, I leaned over and kissed him. Our first kiss, warm, rumbly with the coaster, so public anyone in the park could see us if they looked up. Lucas' eyes widened, and he smiled. This time, he kissed me. A long kiss. Our car had almost reached the top when Lucas and I broke apart. I giggled. Lucas shook his head. Did you plan this? He said, smiling. Maybe, I said. The rumbling stopped. So did the coaster, leaving us stranded nearly 300 feet above the ground. I loved it. Oh my God, Lucas screamed. Nearly 30 stories up, we had a great view of the entire park, the subdivisions around us, and the huge parking lot. My Chevrolet was lost somewhere in that mess. The golds, the crimsons, the violets, the changing colors of the sunset almost hypnotized me. I had little time, but enough. Can I kiss you again? I asked, shyly. Lucas gave a crooked little grin. I bet you arranged this so you have me all to yourself. I wish, I said. I'm only taking advantage of an offer. We kissed again. His mouth tasted of peppermint, and he had worn a nice cologne. I inhaled his scent and knew I was the luckiest guy in the world. My senses are sharper the closer I get to the change. That meant I had to get home soon. The safety bar kept me from putting an arm around Lucas, but I could still hold his hand, and we could still lean together and kiss. The coaster didn't start up again, and I pulled out my phone to check the time. Half an hour until moonrise, and it was the first night of the full moon. Maybe I had timed it too close, but a date with Lucas was worth it. I just hadn't planned on the roller coaster breaking down. I had to get back home immediately, but I was trapped. Somebody text you? Lucas asked. No, just checking the time, I said, beginning to panic. I had 30 minutes, maybe. Somehow I had to get off this thing, get me and Lucas to the car, get him home, and lock myself in the cage before the moon rose. 30 minutes. Why are you so nervous? Lucas said. I have to get home. Oh. It's not you, and I can't explain why. Medicine? The lie would be less painful than the truth. I forgot to bring it. I'm sorry about this, but I have to take it in 30 minutes. I understand, Lucas said, but the way he said it made me think he understood the wrong thing. I really like you. I want to see you again, I pleaded. I just can't see you tonight. Why? I thought we connected, Lucas said. We did, and I think we could have something, I said. But I have to be home. Now. I get it. You have another date tonight. I thought we could go out to dinner, maybe go for a walk through downtown. You could show the new guy the sights. I'd love that, but I can't tonight. I stared at the east, hoping not to see the moon. I don't have a date, but I can't explain. I have to be home. I have to be locked up in the cage so I don't kill anybody. If I changed here, Lucas would be my first target, then the other people in the car. I would go on a rampage through the park. I'm sorry, I can't tell you why, but I have to be home. The ache in my bones meant the moon was close. The change would happen soon. Why are you so stressed? Was it our kiss? Was it that bad? No, I said, pulling out my wallet and phone. I like that part. Hold these for me, please. If things go bad, there's a number in the wallet. Call it. Tell them you're with me. They'll know what to do. You are weirding me out, Lucas said. What is going on? I can't tell you. I have to get home. 25 minutes until the moon rose in the east. The edge of the sun touched the distant ground. I looked at the horizon for the first sign of silver. Nothing. The rumble vibrated the tracks underneath us, and the coaster restarted. We traveled up the last few stories. Then we sailed down 30 stories. I did not enjoy it. My bones ached and my fingers cracked. What if Lucas saw? How would I explain this? We went up another rise, and my stomach shrunk as it felt the change. We rode up, then down, then up, then down. Each time I looked for the dreaded silver. The ride ended, and I jumped out of the seat and ran as fast as I could for my car. Lucas ran behind me. Corey, wait, what's going on? I ran harder because I felt the change happening. I needed to be in my cage. I tossed the keys to Lucas and growled, You'll have to drive. Get to my place. Hurry. Checking the parking numbers on my ticket stub, I found my car. Somebody was there. 3 people stood by it, looking in a broken window. One of them held some kind of metal thing in his hand. In his other was my pack. I doubled over with the pain. My bones shifted first, forcing my skin to stretch. My sleeves ripped, as did my shoes. I dragged my shirt over my head and tossed it. Get away from the car, Lucas yelled. I'm calling the police. I faced the rising moon and howled as I grew taller. I was too late. The change had started. Corey, Lucas yelled. My God, what did you do to him? We didn't do anything, one of the thieves yelled. Get out of our way. They approached Lucas, the metal thing raised. Lucas stood in front of me, trying to protect me. Stay away from us. I was human enough to still have vocal cords. Lucas is mine. I snarled loudly. The claws descended, and I swiped at them as they ran from me. The pain, the change, the moon crested over the eastern horizon. The hateful silver that ruined my life and set the beast free. No, I howled as my vocal cords left. Goodbye, Lucas. I wish we could. I woke to the smell of car exhaust and rusted metal. The stickiness of old blood was cool on my lips. Naked, I shivered as the dawn sun peeked over the horizon. My entire body ached, but not as bad as my soul did, because I remembered the last seconds of last night. I had changed in public, and probably killed Lucas. I lay outside somewhere, not in my cage. That meant Lucas hadn't called anyone. More proof of his death. I had timed it poorly last night, and Lucas had paid the price. Damn. When will I learn that I don't deserve someone like him? I wondered who else I could have killed. The 3 who broke into my car? The ache in my bones persisted, and I wiped my mouth with the back of my hand. Blood, all right. Damn the dawn. Damn the moon. Naked, no wallet, no keys, no phone. And now, a murderer. I lay on cool grass under a tree, the bloody carcass of a chicken next to me. My head lay on somebody's lap, and they slowly stroked my hair. Lucas's lap. He looked at me, pale. A streak of dirt marred his cheek. He gave me a small, tired smile. Did I kill anyone? I asked. For a little while after the change, my senses are sharper. I smelled his cologne. I heard the steady rhythm of his heart. I inhaled the most beautiful scent I had ever smelled. His. No one died, Lucas said softly. Though the 3 people who broke into your car wish they had. The cops caught them, babbling about a man turning into a wolf. I wonder what drugs they took. I slowly sat up, feeling the soreness in every muscle. Lucas took his shirt off and gave it to me to wear. It smelled of him. A handcuff chained me to a ring in the ground, preventing me from putting the shirt on. Lucas must have called after all. Did I hurt you? I asked. Changing back to human always came with a hangover that lasted for days. Tonight I would change again, and tomorrow night. The rest of the week I would feel like crap. I'm fine, Lucas said. Do you remember anything? I never do, I said. I'm glad you're alive, but why aren't you dead? Why didn't you run away? I tried, but you never left me, Lucas said. You kept anyone from getting close to me. Then I remembered the number and called for help. I'm usually a berserk monster, attacking anything that moves. Not me. Lucas took my hand. Just as you changed, you called me yours. And then you attacked the guys at the car, Lucas said. You are very possessive. We usually are when we find someone we like, I admitted, lowering my eyes so he wouldn't see the depth of my feeling. I guess a 4th date is out of the question? Lucas placed an arm over my shoulders and pulled me to him. How can I say no to a naked guy with handcuffs?